You're listening to the Lowdown Show Retro.
What?
Your old school WWF and WWE review and discussion show.
Can you dig it, you sucker?
Right here on the No Holds Barred Network. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and all my corporate sellouts out there. Welcome to episode 4 of the newly revamped Lowdown Show Retro. Your source for old school WWF, WWE reviews and discussions, right here on the No Holds Barred Network. Your source for all WWE, NXT, UK, and AEW wrestling coverage. You can listen to us live every Thursday night, right here on Spreaker. You can download the free app on all Apple and Android devices. And we're also available for you to listen to on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, SoundCloud, and now Spotify as well. So go check us out wherever it's convenient for you to listen to us. And for all network updates, you can follow us on Twitter at NHB Network. As well, you can follow the show itself on Twitter at The Lowdown Retro. And as always, I am your host of The Lowdown Show Retro, Mr. Corporate himself, Corporate Cappy. You can follow me on Twitter at Cappy Collects. And I'm joined on the show today by, he is no other person I'd rather spend on Valentine's Day with than this guy. He is Cornet Jr., Tyler Jones, at Tyler_Jones_22. Happy Valentine's Day, Ty. What's going on?
Yeah, corporate holiday for a corporate guy.
Come on. You're...
Yeah, it's a stupid holiday.
Yeah, well, we can spend it together the only way, want it,
Yeah,
right?
You're definitely the person I want to spend it with.
Well, I'm not costing you any money on some, cheap, corny gifts that, if you really loved your significant other, you should just spend money on them all year long, not just for this one day.
Next girl that's gonna be with me is gonna have to learn that there are corporate holidays and there are real holidays, and I don't celebrate corporate holidays. So
corporate holidays are not best for business when it comes to.
I give flowers on random day. I do random things. I don't have to show my love on one day.
So, happy Valentine's Day to y'all, I guess, except for Ty. Interesting week last week. We did the Revenge of the Taker in Your House review, so this will be the fallout of that. So we got the 2 episodes from April 21st, 97, and April 28th, 1997. So before we start, is there anything, Ty, that you want to say before we get into these reviews about anything we're going to be talking about today?
No.
The whole Vader situation, because I accidentally had you muted last week when that was going on. Do you want to go over briefly what the actual real Vader situation was instead of this whole him attacking this reporter thing?
Well, that is what he did, but essentially that's the reason all the booking was so fucked up for that pay-per-view and why it felt like it was so rushed, was because Vader... It was the domino effect. Basically, Sid gets hurt. Vader's in fucking Kuwaiti fucking desert jail. And so basically with that, the way it worked out, had all the way the matches... Because there were 2 guys that were out of it. So that threw all the matches and basically had to throw them in a blender. So that's why they went with Austin and Brett again, Taker and Mankind again, etc., etc.
Okay. Because, again, we were talking about last week how that card was just like... It just felt like it was thrown together.
It's just a weird card.
Yeah. The way the stories were going, I don't know, just... To me, it was like a 2.5 out of 5 for a pay-per-view. It was pretty lackluster, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. No, it was... there were high spots and there were low spots, and there were more low spots in that pay-per-view than there were high spots. I'll agree with that.
Yeah. So we might as well just jump right into the first episode we'll be reviewing today, which
let's
is...
do it.
Let's get ready to rumble. We got Raw from April 21st, 97. So I forgot where the hell this one took place. I totally... Actually, I think it was Binghamton, New York. That's what it was. It was Binghamton, New York.
Binghamton and then Roch, wasn't it?
No, Roch was where the pay-per-view was
Roch
the night
was
before.
pay-per-view. That's right.
It wasn't too far away. But, you know what?
Shout out to our boy Robbie.
Yeah,
Fucking Binghamton.
Yeah, shout out to our boy Rob there. He went to Binghamton for school, so shout outs to him, I guess. If he ever watches wrestling, I don't think so. But, anyways, so... I was talking to you yesterday, off the air, obviously, and I was saying that how the episodes were pretty lackluster to me, but I actually got to go back today. News for all of you people, I haven't been able to get the network on my computer because I live in Canada. For some reason, I couldn't get in because we have to go through our cable subscribers up here, not just, buying it like a Netflix subscription. So I finally was able to retrieve the Google account that's used for my Bell account. So I've been able to actually watch these last 2 episodes. I went back and rewatched them today on an actual, the WWE network and not some crappy-ass stream that, literally just kept freezing all the time. It was beautiful. I felt no anxiety watching it that this thing, if I paused it, was not going to... If I paused it to do something, it wasn't going to stop working completely like the other one did. So I'm happy that I actually get to watch these episodes without any interruptions, so that was nice.
Well, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, for us in Canada, we got to struggle to
but
watch the network.
How you could say these 2 episodes were lackluster, I don't understand.
Yeah, I went back and watched them both in full today, and I must say that I was wrong. I actually enjoyed these episodes.
I did too.
I was just upset because I couldn't really watch everything in full. I had to watch snippets and skip forward so the fucking video would load and stuff. So now that I actually was able to watch both episodes in full, I take back what I said yesterday that I actually enjoyed both these episodes. So we start off the first Raw. We had the Stone Cold in-ring segment with Vince McMahon, and he basically tells Vince to shut his stinking hole. And they're really teasing this Vince and Austin thing now.
You can tell it's starting to get to that point.
Yeah, you can tell Vince is starting to get really flustered with the stuff that Stone Cold's saying to him in the ring, and they keep pointing in on, or they keep honing in on Vince on the camera too. So you can just tell that it's the boiling point's coming for sure.
It's coming.
Yeah. He calls out Bret Hart, and he said he doesn't want to wrestle. He wants a street fight, and he wants to ship his ass back to Canada.
Austin's such a badass promo.
Yeah, and he's like a psychopath right now. It's unbelievable.
I know, I love it.
They ended up putting a minute timer on the screen.
Yeah.
For this 1 minute for Bret Hart to come out, and of course it hits 0. Bret Hart doesn't go nowhere, or doesn't come out at all. Stone Cold's like, well, that's why I thought I'm gonna go get you, and then Bret Hart appears on the Titantron and they Stone Cold, you American scum.
Okay. Oh, can I want to interject here. Hold on. Bret, now, clear as day, Bret has never been a great promo. Never. Never ever will be. But, what the fuck is up with this? You bunch of dirty, stinking hyenas.
Yeah, he said that 3 times during these 2 episodes.
What the fuck? How is being a hyena a bad thing? First off, I don't really understand that. Don't they eat fucking things and kill things? So fuck, I don't get it. But it just doesn't make any sense how he keeps fucking talking about all that.
I don't know. I don't know if he came up with that or some of the writing staff.
There was no hard scripts back then like there is today.
But God, Bret Hart's promos are awful.
Yeah, they were not good.
Not good. Yeah, I wrote down dirty, stinking, low-down hyena. I'm like,
yeah, all
what?
Right. You couldn't have come up with something better than that. And then he kept he knew he fucked it up. And chose a bad word, but then he just kept going. Yeah,
he kept repeating it throughout the episodes. I'm just okay, I think we need to try something different here. I don't think this insult's working very well.
If you're gonna use slimy, why don't you use a creature that's actually slimy?
Yeah, I don't think that insult worked very well.
No.
Basically tells Austin, gonna go straight to hell, and then Austin says, if I'm going to hell, you're going with me. And he goes to the back, and the street fight's confirmed for later tonight. But yeah, Bret Hart.
Promo.
Not by Bret Hart, by Stone Cold.
God, no. Not by Bret Hart.
So this next, the first match technically, second segment in the show, we had Ahmed Johnson, ya boy, who I don't know why you're hating on because he's actually like hot at this point.
Just because you're hot doesn't mean you're fucking good.
Hey, give respect to Ahmed, okay? He's a gang member.
Yeah, that's in the second episode. But yeah, I respect the fact of what he's trying to do, but he just, I don't know. It's just not there for me.
He's got the look, but I still don't understand his whole attire.
Well, he's got
wearing.
the Vince McMahon look.
Yeah. I don't understand. He kind of looks like a fucking stripper when he comes out in his wrestling attire.
I don't get the whole ripped up football pants. It's not even ripped up. They're just like sections of it taken out.
No,
like,
he
so
literally looks like a male
skin.
stripper.
Like, nigga, what are you trying to do? Like,
whoa. Let's, yeah. But anyways, so we get Ahmed Johnson versus the Sultan. And again, you were telling me off camera how you said the Sultan was somebody that I was going to recognize. And I didn't really recognize who it was, and I had to go and look, and I was very upset that I did not get who the Sultan actually was.
Yeah, I was hoping, I was waiting until you get to this part in the episode. I mean, it was actually a good match too, but the person who it is slimmed down, and I could just tell by the eyes. It's just like every time they showed his face, and I'm like, is that who I think it is? And of course I look it up, and it is. It is your boy Rikishi.
Yep, Junior Fatu Rikishi, who was accompanied by Iron Sheik.
Yeah.
Who did not really get involved at all in this match.
Well, kind of odd in that. Isn't he supposed to be the heel? And
the heel manager really didn't do anything. I saw a couple interactions between him and the crowd, but as far as like what happened in the match, like he didn't really make an impact at all.
He didn't even like go with the crowd when they started chanting USA. I was like, come on, Sheik, what are you doing?
I don't know, maybe he was just lazy that night.
Flip your shit.
But, so, Ahmed Johnson, I took one note from this. Jerry the King Lawler, big shout out to him. He goes, if stupidity were water, Ahmed Johnson would be Niagara Falls. Shout out to my hometown there of Niagara Falls by the Jerry the King Lawler.
Shout out to Lawler, too. Apparently, I was listening to some Dinner with the King podcast the other day, and they were asking him about like where he got all his one-liners and stuff, and he's like, "Oh, I just go buy insult joke books, like back in the day, and just read them, and I have a few favorites that I keep."
Wow!
So he literally got most of his crap from insult joke books that you buy at like gas stations and fucking shitty bookstores.
That's amazing. Way to go, King. Ahmed Johnson hit a scissors kick in this match. I'm like, okay, is he trying to be the next Booker T? Like, what?
It was a pretty good scissor kick, though.
I know, and that's not a racial slur of any sort. I'm just saying, like, literally, why is he attempting a scissors kick? It's just, it looked weird to me. Like, it wasn't done badly, but it was just like, really? This guy's gonna do a scissors kick?
But that was well before Booker T. I don't think Booker T was doing that shit yet.
Yeah, he was doing the Harlem Heat.
Yeah.
And then Ahmed's about to finish him off, and out comes the Nation to distract him. They just kind of stand on the ramp, and then like Ahmed like starts to run at them up the ramp, and Sultan starts attacking him from behind, and then of course the Nation starts to engage. But like, I'm just thinking, I'm like, they have like 6 guys. Like, why are they backing off from Ahmed? Like, you're telling me 6 guys?
2x4. Like, what?
Yeah, well, he grabbed that afterwards.
Guy with a piece of wood?
Well, even before that, they were running away from him.
No, they were coming towards the ring, and then when the Sultan threw him out, they started coming closer, and then he grabbed the 2x4 out from under the ring, and then they started backing off.
But even then, there's still 6 guys. You're telling me 6 guys can't take on one guy with a 2x4?
Guys, I don't get it. Don't get it.
And then, like, the Sultan just, like, kind of, like, walks away. I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah,
and then
it was a weird match.
Ahmed, like, hits him in the back with the 2x4, gets DQ'd, and then just, like, takes his frustrations out on him. As the Nation just, like, doesn't even engage. They just kind of walk away.
Like, what?
It makes them look so weak.
Of that.
I just, like, I know Ahmed Johnson's supposed to look strong, but, like, 6 dudes at once?
Yeah.
I just...
This was not very smart booking.
No, I don't know. They're trying to make Ahmed look strong, but at the same time, it's really making the Nation look really weak. The fact that, like, this whole 3-on-1 match is coming up, we're supposed to take it seriously that Ahmed can beat up 3 guys. It's just like, I don't know what they're doing. I like Ahmed Johnson. I just I don't know if I like, or I can take him credibly taking on 6 guys at once.
Yeah, I can't.
Stone Cold finds the Hart Foundation locker room, and he just like starts attacking it, like he's
Beating
like
the shit out of the
kicking
door.
it,
Freaking
gets
hilarious.
a steel chair, and like starts like taking a steel chair to it. Like he was just trying to
So
break
good.
down this door by any means necessary. And obviously, some backstage officials are in the locker room, and they have a camera in there. Coincidentally, there's a camera in the Hart Foundation locker room, and says, I'll fight him when I'm ready. Go tell him that." So it's just continuing what's going to happen later on between the Hart. The Hart Foundation is literally on like half segments of Raw.
Oh yeah, they're on everything.
Literally every 10 minutes there's something to do with them lately.
Yup. It's starting to get kind of annoying, to be honest with you.
It's like the Roman Reigns treatment, except it's 3 guys. Your boy Vader's detained in Kuwait. They do that whole. They give the backstory of that.
Yep.
How he attacked the reporter. Well, kind of just grabbed him, saying, "Is wrestling fake? Is this fake? Does this look fake to you?" And then they say he.
You want to come down tonight? Before I kick his ass, I'll kick your ass.
Yeah. I know you love Vader, so I'm sure you love that.
Vader.
And that obviously
Mad
was
respect for what he did too. I know everybody was like, "Oh, it's embarrassing, and that's kind of stupid for you to do." But you know what?
He was in
How
character,
many times do
though.
those people get thrown that question in their face, and it's just, it's a stupid question.
But again, like
especially
it kind of felt like it was kayfabe too, though. I know, I know it was off script, but like I could appreciate if he was trying to incorporate his character into the interview.
Yeah, I don't think it was prepared though. You could just kind of tell by the look on the guy's face,
Which is kind of good though too, because if it draws the line of between reality and fake, it's good.
I mean, he was in jail. There's no that's real.
Yeah,
he was in jail.
I mean, the man's a nutcase. Rest in peace, Vader. One of the greats.
Nuts and rest for sure.
Just shame you didn't get to meet him before he passed.
I was pissed. Honestly, if he didn't have the heart attack, he would have been in New Orleans, from what I've been told. So, pretty disappointing. But it's what life.
You tried. You tried to meet him.
Yeah.
So that they said his court date will be this Wednesday. So that was the end of that.
Yeah.
Ken Shamrock's on commentary, and they kind of do like a promo with him just on commentary, and the commentators are being echoed throughout the arena, so they're just kind of on like the live mic.
Yep.
And Ken Shamrock says he doesn't like bullies like Vader, and then makes a challenge to Mike Tyson as well, the baddest man on the planet. So I don't know where the hell that's going.
I thought that was just weird. Like, why would Mike Tyson want to fight you? You're not a boxer. Like,
yeah. So he's challenging Vader and Mike Tyson at the same time. So I don't know if that's smart on Ken Shamrock's part.
Yeah, probably not.
So
and then they announced that they're going to have I'm pretty excited about this no holds barred match between the two. Now, whether or not, I'm using air quotes here. No
shout out to
barred.
the camera.
I don't know how.
Or shout out to
no
the camera.
holds is gonna be.
Shout out to the podcast.
Yeah, for real.
So we finally get to the Bret Hart Stone Cold match that we've all been waiting for. This was a pretty brutal match. Not as far as like quality. I don't mean like not saying it was terrible, but I mean like just what happened in the match.
Very physical.
Yeah. Bret comes down to the ring and then like refuses to get in the ring. And then Bulldog and Owen
funny.
And Owen and Bulldog just start attacking Austin from behind. They come out of nowhere. And then Shawn Michaels just comes out of nowhere from the crowd and starts attacking the Hart Foundation with a chair. Chases Bulldog and Owen out. I don't even know where the fuck they went, but he chased them out somewhere. And Bret gets back in the ring and starts to like beat up on Stone Cold. He tries to jump on Stone Cold's leg with the chair attached to him, and he ducks out of the way. And then Stone Cold starts attacking Bret's leg, just like Bret did to him the night before. And then Stone Cold applies the sharpshooter for literally like 3 minutes on Bret Hart. And it took 6 officials to pull him off at the end of it.
What the fuck was all that? Like, it didn't take... They shouldn't have taken all... And then they still couldn't get him off. Couldn't take all those guys. Good Lord.
Yeah. And it was just like... The JR on commentary was even like saying like the guy's a human being, like enough's enough. Even though Bret Hart's the heel, like he was really selling it to see like Austin was like really giving it to him, even though Bret might have deserved it. But like I don't know what he could have broke, but like as far as storyline purposes, I mean he held on the sharpshooter for like 3 minutes, so Bret must have tore something for sure. And obviously they play off the injury angle afterwards, but he gets carried off on the stretcher. And they pan to like Owen, and he's like, "It's his leg, you idiot!" Like,
yeah. Favorite part of the whole thing though is when they're putting him into the back of the damn ambulance, and they're like, "All right, the guy in the back is like, all right, let's go, man, let's go." And Austin's got the guy rolled up in the window. If you look close, he's got his head and neck rolled up in the window, like it's stuck. Like he's got this guy stuck by his head. Like, holy shit! He wouldn't do that today.
No, absolutely
now, granted,
not.
Then they fucked up. The camera crew fucked up, and they caught. If you look closely, you gotta look close. I barely caught it. You could see the guy standing on like a crate outside of the door. I'm like, come on, guys, seriously? You couldn't fucking hide that out? Couldn't edit that out?
It was 1997, Ty. Give him a break.
Stupid. No, I mean, no, there's no break. Tell the camera crew to fucking do their job right.
Why, is that something your boy Cornette would flip out about?
Sir, I can have my own thoughts and opinions. I don't need Jim Cornette to make them for me. Just because we agree on many, many, many things doesn't mean that I follow everything he says like gospel.
Just like some other people we know. Anyway, so we move on to Tiger Ali Singh versus some guy named Salvatore. Like, what the fuck was this? I do like me some
Tiger Ali Singh.
Ali Singh from Canada. Shout out to him.
Is he really?
Yeah, they said he was from Toronto, Canada in this at the end of it. But like the match was basically pointless because all it was like backstage segment of them showing Bret getting carried off in the stretcher with Owen and Bulldog just like yelling at the medical staff the whole time. And I don't even honest to God, I don't even remember how the hell Tiger Ali Singh won this match. But they said the winner of the Kuwaiti Cup. Like, that's supposed to be such a major thing.
Well, I guess it was, because they said that Ahmed Johnson won it the year before, and he's getting a big-ass push.
Is this like the new, or was this like, what Greatest Royal Rumble, like, bootlegged off of?
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. It was probably either that, like the first Greatest Royal Rumble, basically, or it seems like it was like an elimination style, which I like way better than I like Royal Rumbles, but it just seemed like it was kind of the Andre the Giant, type situation.
Or it was like a King of the Ring type tournament.
Yeah, King of the Ring type tournament for sure.
The Kuwaiti Cup. So I'm surprised Tiger Ali Singh's not carrying it around like the Hart Foundation's carrying around all their shit.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they won a trophy, or I don't even know if they gave out anything for that. But
I don't know. I don't remember.
I honestly have to go look. Bret Hart was then carried out to the ambulance, and so they put him in the ambulance. Like, okay, get him to the doctor. They get him to the hospital. They shut the doors and everything, and they pan to the front of the ambulance, and Stone Cold's driving it.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. I thought that happened in that segment.
And he just runs from they're like, driver, we need to get them to the hospital, and he's like, oh, I ain't leaving yet, and he just comes in the back. And just starts attacking Bret Hart. And
when he has him fucking upright on the stretcher, like laying like his feet on the ground, but it's like leg up and he can't move, and Austin's just pummeling him. Fucking hilarious.
And then like he somehow like slithers away, and Bulldog and
how does he get away?
I don't understand how he got away from all those people.
I know.
But he just somehow slithered away, and Bulldog basically says like he's dead. He's dead man, this and that. Like, well, if he was a dead man, why didn't you just attack him when he was there?
By the way, for a guy that looks so fucking just intimidating, Bulldog has got to be the least intimidating person when he starts talking.
Voice. Oh, he's got like the William Regal voice.
Yeah, he starts talking, and it's just like you lost all credibility.
Because he looks like such a badass dude, but then he starts talking.
He's so jacked. He's got watermelon arms because he looks like he's carrying 2 watermelons underneath his fucking shoulders. So, I mean, he's so jacked and huge. I don't know what his voice. He starts talking. It's like, dude, you lost all of it. It's all gone.
Yeah. So he slithers
And
away.
it's not even like the high pitchedness or anything of his voice or even the accent. It's just the way he talks.
He can't really cut a good promo either.
He's pretty stupid.
Yeah, he sounds like a meathead. Like, I don't know how many roids he's taken at this point, but it's gotta be messing with his head.
I was kind of starting to wonder the same thing, to be honest with you.
So we'll get back to that later. Next week, oh my good God. Oh, I flipped the page, and I got the first... Oh, I don't even want to talk about this again, but we have to. We got Jesse James versus Rockabilly, Part 2.
Spend my days working hard on the goat, put the hands on the cup.
Yeah, where is Jeff Jarrett at this point?
He's in WCW. He quit or left and basically told Vince to fuck himself.
Oh, because I'm surprised they didn't do like a Jeff Jarrett and a honky tonk angle. That's why I was like, wondering.
No, the angle was the angle prior to this, and the reason Jesse James is a thing is because Jesse James was the roadie, where you get the name Road Dogg eventually. He was the roadie for Jeff Jarrett. Well, come to find out, when Jeff Jarrett decided he was going to leave, they said, okay, well, we'll do it this way. Jesse James is actually the guy singing, and Jarrett is lip syncing. So Jesse James is the real Double J.
Ah. So that's what they were talking about on that table of 3. Okay.
Yep.
I didn't really understand what was going on. I'm like, why does he have Jeff Jarrett's gimmick? Like, I didn't get it.
So basically, he went from being his roadie, and he was pretty funny if you go back and watch some of whenever they were doing that. He'd go off and like try to set the smoke thing or smoke screen thing, and then he would go and try to check the lights of the mic and test 1 2 test 1 2. It's pretty funny.
Oh, I'm sure it can't be much worse than Jeff Jarrett on television in 2019.
It was funny for the Royal
It was
Rumble.
good, and the day
I don't agree
after.
on Raw. I don't think we should be having him regularly, but
No, but I think that's good. I think they only did a 2-week thing with Jeff Jarrett, and he's gonna ride off into the sunset. I'm good with that. But anyway, so we had this terrible match between Jesse James and Rockabilly again. Billy hits the shake, rattle, and roll for the win, so he uses Honky Tonk Man's finisher. And then after the match, Jesse starts attacking Billy, and then he he gets hit by a chair. He gets a chair shot in the back by Honky Tonk Man, and then he basically hits him again on the side of the head. I'm like, Jesus, did he have to hit him again? The first one in the back was okay, and then he just kind of hit him again in the side of the head. I'm like, Jesus, and that was what broke it. I'm like, all right, all right. Well, Jesse probably has a concussion, but nobody's checking on him back then. So that was that, and again. Thankfully, this was the last time we had to see Jesse James and Rockabilly, because this was like the toilet break of these Monday Night Raws, because I'm getting sick and tired of it.
I fast-forwarded through all this, because I will be straight up. Not that I love Road Dogg, but I love his family. The Armstrong family is one of the most successful and storied wrestling families in history. I mean, his father, Bullet Bob, is one of the greatest Tennessee wrestlers to ever exist. And so I guess you could say southeastern, but mostly Tennessee and Knoxville area. And I do love his family and all of them. His brothers were really good wrestlers, better than him, to be honest with you. He was kind of the worst of the bunch. It's kind of funny. But I think Billy Gunn is one of the worst fucking wrestlers to ever walk into the damn place. Now, I know he was hired by AEW to be the producer and everything. I don't know how well he'll do at that. Don't really care, to be honest with you. But oh God, how this guy was so over at a time just boggles my fucking mind up. He's awful.
And he's got a good look, now but
sucks.
Again, he's an athletic guy, but again, he could never talk. He never really had charisma. It was basically he was riding DX's coattails through the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was definitely more athletic than Road Dogg. I'm not going to sit here and say he wasn't, but... Yeah, I'm not a fan of Rockabilly, that's for damn sure. So, we'll move on from that. I loved Honky Tonk Man, this Jesse James feud, from the first episode we were doing, and then, it was just terrible, and I hope they end it now.
It just doesn't really make it out. I mean, I know what they're doing. They're putting the two music people in a feud, but it's guys, this is fucking lame.
Yeah.
Let's just stop.
Yeah, we're going to stop talking about it. So we're going to move on to Gorilla Monsoon backstage, trying to calm HBK and Stone Cold down for whatever reason. So Austin and Shawn Michaels are going at it because Stone Cold didn't want Shawn's help. He doesn't want any allies, this and that. So they kind of just go their separate ways. And then I'll let you talk about the Mankind vignette.
I mean, it was I like the vignette and talking about Uncle Paul and any of those vignettes with him in the basement and him in the all those weird places. They were just good. They were done really well, filmed really well, and of course Mick was just so damn good at talking and doing that whole crazy psycho gimmick type thing. I really enjoyed all of those promos. This was a good one too. I mean, just Uncle Paul, he burned his flesh,
He like smacks his head off the
beats his head on the wall, and on the pipe, and
the pipe. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Uncle Paulie. That's my favorite
Uncle
part.
Paul.
So yeah, another great vignette by Mankind leads to The Undertaker versus our boy Hunter Hearst Helmsley with the best entrance music of all time. I might have to download that entrance music and just play it randomly.
You know what's sad too is I hate that one, and I love Walter's new one, but that's because the song is much better too, much better classical music than that one. That song just doesn't make any sense. It's just too weird for that gimmick. You could have came up with something so much better.
So he's got the eighth wonder of the world, China, who's bigger than him by his side, and realistically, he should be her manager at this point. Mm-hmm. Undertaker interrupted Triple H's entrance, and then Hunter I don't know. It was just a weird start to the match. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It was odd.
That's for sure.
As far as the notes I wrote down for this match, I didn't really write as much for the match quality. Hunter used the ropes while he had Undertaker in this headlock thing.
Yeah.
The referee didn't really catch it, and then it just kind of panned off and showed Dustin Rhodes and Terry, who goes by what at this point? What the hell was her name? It was Marlena. That's it.
Marlena.
Yeah, that's
I was
it.
Gonna say
Marlena, aka Terry Runnels. For any of you that don't know who that is.
It was funny that it was Dustin, not Goldust.
Yeah, it was Dustin Rhodes in the crowd, and they were smoking cigars.
Yeah, they were smoking cigars. That was awesome.
It was just a random peer off to the crowd, and they're just kind of sitting in there. Somehow led to a match between them the following week. But anyways, Taker uses a huge right hand to knock Triple H over the ring. And then that's when Mankind starts to come down to the ramp with a fucking blowtorch in his hand.
Yeah.
I just right when they peered to the stage and Mankind just coming down the ring with a blowtorch with a smile on his face, I could just picture you laughing. I don't know why.
Oh yeah.
But I just pictured you marking out laughing at that, the fact that Mankind, the psychopath, is just bringing down a fucking blowtorch to the ring.
It was awesome.
And then he hits Taker with I guess it was the tank that was the oxygen tank. I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was the tank that was used for the blowtorch. I don't know if it was propane. I don't know what the fuck it was.
Yeah, it's not oxygen.
It's propane.
Yeah,
so he used the propane tank and it hit Taker over the head with the thing. And gets DQ'd. Well, gets Triple H DQ'd.
Yeah.
And then Mankind gets the blowtorch, and he's trying to light it. He can't light the thing, and he finally lights it. And then Taker kind of rises up and then choke slams him, and then he ends up chasing him into the crowd to end the segment. But Mankind, man, just coming out with a blowtorch. I was dying. Who came up with this idea? Do you think Mick came up with that himself? I'm going to bring a blowtorch to the ring.
Probably.
Can you imagine somebody nowadays bringing a blowtorch to the ring? They would be. Would probably censor it out, or fucking Kevin Dunn would go straight to commercial or something. They would do something stupid. But I loved that. The whole blowtorch thing was hilarious. I loved it. What were your final thoughts on that?
Oh, same as yours. I mean, much as I don't want to agree with you, but it was a good match, really good match, and really good finish, and I love the ending. So I was happy with the whole the Mankind coming down with the blowtorch and everything. It was good.
I mean, Mankind definitely saved it for sure. Cause,
yeah. I mean, when I say it was a great match, Undertaker was in it. So I mean, obviously, it's gonna be
what do you
great
mean?
in that
Your
sense.
boy Hunter Hearst Helmsley was in it.
Yeah, okay, but you know, it the way it flowed was all right. Rough start, like you were saying, but the way it started flowing afterwards, it felt good. And then with the interference and everything, it worked out. I liked it.
Yeah, they're not really going anywhere from here. It was kind of like a one-off match.
Oh yeah, because that's kind of what they're doing with the championship right now, which I think is weird, but whatever.
Next, we had the Stone Cold and Vince in-ring segment once again. These guys, I don't know if they're really trying to tease it or what, but
I don't think yet. I just think they're trying to get Austin on TV as much as possible.
yeah. So Stone Cold comes back out again, says he sent Bret Hart back to Canada. He says Bret Hart's finished in the WWF. He says Taker's gonna have the coldest day in hell, and then like he kind of starts cutting like a heel promo. He just kind of says says he did it all by himself. None of these fans helped him. Like, no, all you people with your 316 signs and this and that, I don't care about you type thing. He says he'll kick Vince's ass and says he won't be a role model WWF champion. So he kind of goes from babyface to heel in, like, the same promo.
Which is Austin's whole character. He's the anti-hero.
I mean, I guess he's a psychopath, so he's not really on a side. He's just kind of
no, he's on
an
his
outlier
own side
himself. So he could wrestle the faces, he could wrestle the heels. He was really like the only tweener, like that.
I would
could
say
get
Taker
over.
was a pretty great tweener too.
But like Taker wasn't coming out and saying that to the crowd though.
No,
I mean, his
but
character.
Taker was very. You couldn't tell whether or not he was being a heel or a face half the time.
I mean, a dead man is a babyface. Like it just changed the business.
It
the
did.
Fact that
it did.
People were cheering for a dead guy. It was odd. But then Owen and Bulldog just start attacking Stone Cold again, and then Shawn Michaels comes out once again to chase him away.
Saves him again.
Yeah, so he's like the new Psycho Sid. I don't know what's going on. I thought Shawn Michaels
probably the replacement.
I thought Shawn Michaels was like supposed to be written off a storyline what Bret Hart did to him like 2 weeks ago. But
I thought that was kind of weird too because he did get hurt.
But maybe because of the whole Sid thing, maybe they had to bring him back. Maybe you're right about that.
It's highly possible.
Because remember, it was Sid that was doing all the saving before, and then he just kind of disappeared. He's injured now, so they kind of had to bring Shawn back out of nowhere. And then, out of nowhere, Brian Pillman comes out and attacks Stone Cold, tries to break his leg, and then HBK comes in for the save again and runs away. So Brian Pillman is back, and there was something he did to start the next episode that had me dying, but
you loved it.
So Brian,
you know me, I loved it.
I know Brian Pillman. So he makes his return, and we'll talk about him a little bit later. But I think I was gonna say, did that end the show?
That did end the show.
Yeah, there we go. I forgot to write that ended the show, but so yeah, Brian Pillman is back, ladies and gentlemen. So that was your main event of the April 21st. Raw of 97. So, I don't know. It was a pretty good episode. I mean, there were some interesting things that happened, but again, the whole thing revolves around the Hart Foundation and Stone Cold. Like, literally, almost half of the segment, and more than half of the segments were to do with either Stone Cold or Bret Hart. It was like nothing else mattered in the show.
Yeah, that's starting to get a little annoying, but other than that, I thought some of the shit was really good, and some of the stuff was...
No, their segments are good though. Like it's a lot different than nowadays, obviously. But like, I just feel like when they do their promos, like they're somewhat meaningful. They're not just filler garbage. They actually try to enhance the story or enhance the feud somewhat. Everything except for Tiger Ali Singh versus Salvatore and I guess Jesse James and Rockabilly. I thought everything else was pretty good.
Yeah,
thought it all kind of made sense and kind of tied into the next week. I thought next week's episode was a lot better. But
I agree.
But coming out of the fallout of Revenge of the Taker in your house, I thought it was a decent episode. But again, it was really just a transition episode to the next week, so we'll get into that a little bit later. So before we get into our match of the week, I'm going to give a shout out to our sponsor of the No Holds Barred Network, ExtremeWrestlingShirts.com. They specialize in WWE and MMA apparel with over 10,000 products in stock. T-shirts, sweaters, muscle shirts, anything else they got on there. So you're not going to want to miss checking out this website, ExtremeWrestlingShirts.com. And as a special added bonus, use the code NOHOLDS at checkout, and you'll save an extra 10%, just like our boy Ty Dillinger, perfect 10 on your order. So go check them out, the official sponsor of the No Holds Barred Network, ExtremeWrestlingShirts.com. Ty, I know you love the perfect 10, but we'll save that for another episode. My boy wanted to go back to NXT, apparently, so there's that.
That's probably the best place for him.
So for that part of the show again, it is our match of the week. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Vintage Match of the Week segment. And on rotation, it is my week this week. And if you check the Twitter account and saw the tweet that I put out, everybody but Ty, I guess, saw it since he didn't see the tweet. But I'll forgive him for this week. But anyways,
I watched the match. Okay,
I know you did after I told you what the match was. Anyways, I just had to throw a little jab in there. Come on, I'm corporate. But anyways, so the match I chose this week was Kurt Angle versus Eddie Guerrero for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 20. This was the main feud going on SmackDown at the time during the brand split. And I just picked this match because it was two of the best wrestlers of that generation for sure. I feel like, obviously, there was the Rocks and the Stone Colds and that, but I feel like Kurt Angle and Eddie Guerrero were two of the best technicians for sure in the ring. And they faced each other at the grandest stage of all for the WWF title, or WWE title at that point. So I thought it was a great match to choose. What were your thoughts on this match, Ty?
I actually thought it was really damn good.
Yeah,
I've never seen this match before, and
I think it's an underrated match that nobody really talks about.
Holy hell!
It was a lot of mat wrestling, which I thought
and
you
the
would
fact
like.
that he won on a fucking small package, I fucking died.
Yeah,
I'm like, that doesn't scream fucking cheat, steal, heel. Fucking damn.
Yeah, but Eddie was the baby face at that point, but it was funny. Because
I don't know, because they were chanting Angle throughout the match.
No, that's the thing. Like, it was split down the middle, but Eddie was the baby face at the time with this whole lie, cheat, and steal gimmick. That was his gimmick, but it was a baby face gimmick.
That's weird.
So,
see, I figured with that he would be a heel.
No, he had just won the title from Brock Lesnar at the...
Yeah, they were saying that, which I was like, what?
Because...
You beat Lesnar?
No, but that was because Goldberg interfered, and that led to the Goldberg and Lesnar match at Mania, which was a travesty. This was at the same Mania.
I've seen that.
But this was a really good, as far as wrestling match goes, like mat wrestling. Like, it was really good. It's a very underrated match that doesn't get talked about very much at all. That's why I wanted to showcase it, because I feel like it's a great match that nobody really talks about. I mean, if you appreciate that kind of wrestling, it's really good. I can see how
if you're a fucking wrestling fan, you better.
Yeah, like I can see why other different types of wrestling fans wouldn't like the slow pace of the match. Like, it was kind of a slow match. But, I mean, I loved
say it, guys. That's how wrestling literally has been for fucking 80 years until the last 10 when everybody decided, or 15, 20, and everybody decided to fucking go nuts.
But I love this match. I wrote a lot of notes for this match. Like you had said earlier, the crowd was shockingly split down the middle for this match, even though...
It was. Now, a question, because I don't know. Where was this WrestleMania?
This was in New York.
Okay.
MSG.
I thought it was either New York or Mellon Arena for some reason. Yeah. And if it was in Pittsburgh, I'm like, well, that's why Angle's getting cheered.
No, it was at MSG, which is why they have that weird mini stage in the middle, because that's the way MSG is set up.
Yeah.
But that's actually the main stage for Royal Rumble. But for Mania, they actually made a big stage. But usually, for any events at MSG, they come out of that little tiny side thing. Right. I don't know why, just the way it's set up. But yeah, it was down the middle, even though Eddie was the clear babyface. And then, like I said, a lot of submissions and holds in this match. A long key lock by Eddie, long abdominal stretch by Kurt, just trying to get the upper hand with these big submission holds. And then Kurt tried to give a German suplex off the apron. I was like, oh my god, that would have been nuts if he would have... That probably would have hurt him more, because the way...
Oh, yeah.
Because he was going to land first with all of Eddie's weight on him. That's a crazy spot. So obviously Eddie had to hold on to hold on to the ropes. I'm like, I don't know if I could trust another guy as I'm trying to pull him off the ropes.
I was starting to pop on that one. I'm like, oh my god, they're both gonna die. They're both gonna fucking die. Like, no way, either of them are gonna survive. Maybe Eddie, but God, Kurt's gonna die.
Yeah, but Eddie eventually gets out of that, and he goes to the top rope, but gets nailed in the gut in the midsection by Kurt as he's coming down. So again, Kurt Angle's just working on the midsection of Eddie throughout the whole match. That was like his point of attack, I guess you could say. Like Eddie got hung up on the rope at one point. Angle goes for near fall, and then he does the belly to belly suplex, two of them. So he's trying to one up Eddie with the Three Amigos thing that he does. Mm-hmm. And then Kurt tried to suplex Eddie off the top rope, and like Eddie just kept shoving him away. He kept I think he tried it 3 times where he tried to go up to the rope, and then Eddie would shove him away. He did it again, shove him away.
Yeah.
And then Eddie missed the frog splash after that. And then Eddie countered the Angle slam into an arm drag and head scissors, which I thought was really cool. I thought that was a really good counter. The way he kind of got out of the Angle slam and just kind of improvised with the arm drag and head scissor move. And then Angle countered the Three Amigos into an ankle lock, and he applied that for a little bit. And what else did I write here? Eddie got out of it and goes to the top rope again, and is met by Angle, and Angle finally got the the suplex off the top rope that he was trying to do throughout the whole match. And then Angle goes for another Angle slam, and he's countered into a swinging DDT, which was really nice. And the way that, I think it was Taz that brought it up on commentary, the way Kurt Angle landed, kind of like landed on his neck, and they're like, oh my god, he landed on his surgically repaired neck. So they were playing off the whole Angle had just had his neck surgery spot, so Angle was really selling that really good. He grabbed his neck, and it's kind of all into that. And Eddie hits the frog splash. I'm like, all right, it's done. And Kurt kicks out of 2 after the
at like 2 and 7/8.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, that was stupid. I mean, I went back and rewatched it just to see how close it was. I mean, like his hand hit the floor, but it was like Kurt's fucking shoulder came up as he was hitting the fucking floor. Craziest, one of the craziest false finishes I've ever seen, in my opinion.
Especially because the way the camera was, because you couldn't even see Angle's right arm get up. It was, you saw a little bit of his hand get up. You're like, well, that was over. Was that after? But no, he had just barely got his arm up.
And I like the way Kurt kicks out too. He doesn't act all dramatic and doesn't kick his legs and flail. He just literally raises his shoulder, like you should.
Yeah. And then Angle was playing possum on him, and he applies another ankle lock on Eddie after he tries to pick him back up again. And then Eddie countered and throws Kurt to the outside, and this is where it got interesting. Eddie starts untying his boot. I don't know if it was I think he was in pain, but he also had
is
an
not
ulterior
smart to
motive
do,
with it.
folks.
Yeah,
it's not smart to unbuckle something that's, if you have a sprained ankle and you undo it, it's gonna swell up, and you will not get your foot back in that boot.
Nope.
It has happened in hockey for so many years, I cannot even tell you that I've seen so many kids take it off and they can't play the rest of the fucking game because their ankle and foot have swollen up so much they can't get their foot back in their skate.
Yeah, I did that in baseball.
You have to keep it on to keep your foot or whatever it is to keep the pressure from building up.
Yeah, because if you take it off, then you're not getting it back on.
It's going to flare, you're not getting it back on.
So I don't know if Eddie made a misplay there, or if he knew what he was doing the whole time.
I think that was in it. Yeah, it was part of the storyline.
And then they kind of stare at each other, and Eddie goes, "Oh shit!"
As he's putting the boot back on, and Kurt realizes it and just hops right back in there, and Eddie's like, "Oh fuck!" But it's so sweet how he just fucking slips his foot out of the damn thing. Kurt flies off, the boot in his hand. He's like, "Huh?" The ref's fucking saying, "Oh my god," and Daddy fucking rolls him up with a small package. Awesome.
Great finish. Typical Eddie Guerrero finish. Loved it. The fact that Kurt's still holding the boot, while Eddie he's like, what the hell's this? So it was perfect. It was a perfectly done spot. The way that, Eddie untied his boot for Kurt to for him to weasel out of the ankle lock and then just rolls him up for the win. I don't care about the roll up finish. I thought it was great for the type of match it was.
Oh hell yeah!
The way the match was
usually
going.
I would say a small package finish is kind of shitty, but in that situation that was awesome.
And he also had his foot on the rope too.
Yeah, I know. I'll tell you what else too was freaking awesome. Not awesome, but underrated. I mean, they were good too. The commentating. I loved Taz in this match. He was very into the match, and
he was good. He was good at calling. He was good at calling the moves.
He was, and I'll tell you what. As much as I dislike Michael Cole today and in the past, he wasn't that bad here. He really wasn't that bad.
No, I didn't mind him, but I loved Taz on commentary. He was fantastic.
I always did too.
But yeah, like throughout the whole match, and even at the end, like, oh my God, Eddie cheated again. He did it, and Kurt's like looking like he's like almost about to cry. He's like, what the why?
Yeah, Kurt's like about to cry, and all you hear is Taz. He cheated.
His foot on the rope. But just for Eddie's character at that point, and for the type of match it was, I was completely okay with the way the match ended, because a match like that was going to end something like that, something fluky. Because it was too close to call at that point. It took Eddie cheating to pull up the victory, which was his gimmick at the time. So I loved this match. That's why I was happy to choose it as my vintage match of the week. I would say.
Yeah, can't say I blame you.
I would say it was at least a 4.25 out of 5 match. I don't know if you want to give a rating to it, but you can give your closing remarks on the match.
God, I don't know if I can do like a rating system. I don't know how you can rate, all this stuff. But that was awesome.
Yeah. So did you enjoy the match then? Got your approval?
Oh hell yeah!
Oh yeah. Two of the all-time greats just in there with an old school wrestling match, old school mat wrestling. I loved it. So, yeah, I guess. Do you have your match of the week set up or? Yeah,
I do.
Okay, go ahead and announce your match for next week then.
I will announce it, and I will send the link to Cappy to tweet out, because your guys will. I mean, you could probably find it too, but I'm going to send you the right one. I am going to show you guys a Chris Colt match. Now, Chris Colt was one of the first. It actually probably was the first, from what I've been able to gather. He was the first ever openly homosexual wrestler. The man was an absolutely incredible talent, but had an absolutely incredible infatuation with drugs, which is also another reason why I love him. The man, I think, wrestled almost every match high on acid, or coke or something. He was super bad. You could just, there's one of them. I wish the sound worked on it like 2 years ago, and I cannot get it to work anymore. But he's cutting a promo, and you could just tell he is fucked up. But he's doing it so good, and he wrestles so good, even though he's fucked up. But I'm gonna say this guy. He was a far ahead of his time. Far ahead of his time. He was a 70s and early 80s wrestler, mostly in Portland, Oregon, Toronto, Memphis, Vancouver. I want to say he's from California. He's either from California or he was Canadian. I can't remember. But he'd spent a lot of time in Toronto. But he was just a very eccentric wrestler. But his shit looked so good. So I'm gonna send you guys I'm gonna put out one of the matches that he had with a guy named with Steve Pardee, and this match will basically show. It's gonna show you how to be a damn heel. To be honest with you. If you want to be a wrestler and you want to know how to be a heel in the ring and what to do, watch this man do his work. So the match ends up being a draw, but it's awesome. It's just the way they act and interact with each other is freaking sweet. So I can't wait for everybody to watch it.
So which opponent is it, or you haven't decided yet?
It's going to be versus Steve Pardee.
Versus Steve Pardee. And you remember what year this match is from?
I believe this match is from 1982.
Okay.
Yes, 1982, Seattle's Big Time Wrestling.
All right, so Ty's Vintage Match of the Week next week, and we will tweet out the link so that you guys can watch it properly. Chris Colt versus Steve Pardee, 1982. So I haven't heard of either of these guys, so I'm interested to see.
Well, you're not. No, it's not like Steve Pardee. I think is just kind of a local guy from the West Coast. So let's not get all hype about that. But Chris Colt was a a hell of a fucking talent. Hell of a fucking
showcasing a guy that doesn't get showcased a lot. I appreciate that.
Yes.
I like that. You're an old school guy, so.
Well, here's the thing. I think that we will not, and it's kind of from experience. The way that, like, you look at wrestling media now, we don't hear a lot about the old stuff and about people before there was television and before there was, real national promotions. And the only time we really hear about them is when Meltzer puts out his obituary pieces, which are really, really good because they tell you the history of that wrestler and everything. It just sucks that these guys don't get the respect and shit they deserve and acknowledgement for what they've done for this business. We hear more about dick flippers and fucking stupid horse shit, fucking actors trying to be wrestlers, than we do about these guys that literally gave their life. I mean, a lot of these guys died from the drugs they were taking to keep away from the pain they were having. I mean, like, that's my thing. I want to bring back the history and let these guys that work their fucking asses off to make a business that we all love and appreciate and have them be more appreciated.
I appreciate that, though. Like, we need more historians like you to at least, bring up these guys that, never really got showcased or were never mainstream popular in this and that, so.
Oh, yeah, and
that's why I like
we're going to get to a Fargo's. I'm going to show you guys a Fargo's match, because those guys were fucking awesome. And probably some Von Erich stuff eventually, too.
Oh, so. Yeah, I'm interested in the Von Erich stuff. Sure be down with that.
So, but at the Fargo's were even more fucking psycho, so it was... you're going to get some interesting stuff from me that you're going to have to... I mean, I'm going to give you guys links, so I'm not going to do any... I'm not going to make you guys go out and search this shit. but it's going to be good.
Sorry, I'm just talking to the people in the chat. Tilo and Tiff, shout outs to them, seeing in the chat, listening to us. But anyway, so we'll move on to the April... God, I wrote this down terribly. The April 28th episode of Raw. I don't know why I just wrote it down terribly. So anyway, we open up with probably my favorite promo out of any of the episodes we've reviewed so far. We have your boy Brian Pillman in the ring.
Oh my god.
So.
Oh my god.
You guys, if you didn't watch these episodes, please go back and look at this promo.
First off,
please go and look at this promo by Brian Pillman. If there's one thing you need to watch in this week, you need to watch this promo. It was fucking
absolutely
hilarious.
Unbelievable.
He comes out and asks the crowd to join him in prayer. Obviously getting huge heat. Loving it. Says, let's pray for Bret Hart for a speedy recovery and for those who supported the devious actions of Stone Cold. Like, relieve them of their sins and this and that. Brian Pillman, he urges Stone Cold to come out. Stone Cold finally comes out, but it's a trap as all three, him, Davey Boy, and Owen start attacking Stone Cold. And then he tells all three of them to get down on one knee and start praying. And he asks Bulldog, lead us in prayer. Bulldog, they just all basically pray.
Brother Bulldog, Brother Owen.
It was fantastic.
As he's wearing these fucking tie-dye pants and fucking weird fucking Guns N' Roses t-shirts and shit. He's talking about prayer. Oh my god, it's so awesome.
He reminded me of that new Bugenhagen guy.
He kind of does.
That guy scares the shit out of me. I don't know what is with that guy, but we'll save that for...
I kind of like him, to be honest with you.
I don't mind it. The first time I watched it, I'm like, what the fuck is this? But the second time I went and watched it, I'm like, all right, this guy's got some charisma. I kind of like it. He's kind of like a Rick Rude, like, hybrid type thing, but more charismatic, I guess. I don't know. He just kind of... I got a Rick Rude vibe from him for some reason. I don't know. That was maybe the way he looked. But anyways, we'll save the NXT stuff for our good brothers over on the NXT review. But anyways, so this Brian Pillman thing, Stone Cold ends up finding like an axe handle in the back. Like, he rips the axe off the handle, comes back, and then chases them out of the ring and into the crowd. Like, I don't know where he found this axe, but he found it. He's still there?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know. What did you think of Stone Cold coming back?
Yeah, the whole axe handle thing was fucking awesome. Plus, I don't know if people know this, but axe handles are light as fuck. Like,
I don't know why he didn't just keep the axe on it. If he really wanted to inflict some pain.
You can't fucking chop a fucking
I know, but I'm just saying, for kayfabe purposes, if Austin really wanted to be a badass, he should have just walked out with the axe.
I agree, but then he couldn't swing it around and do all that, because an axe handle is light, but the end of an axe is heavy as a motherfucker, so most of the time. So I don't know. That was... It was funny as hell. Because then you see Pillman and all them trying to jump over the damn barricade. They're like falling. Falling over the railing. Great.
So we move on to, again, we get Rockabilly again. This guy's on television way too much. I'm getting sick of Rockabilly.
Mm-hmm.
And he faces off against Flash Funk, who didn't get an entrance, which was kind of upsetting because I like Flash Funk.
I do like me some Flash Funk.
Rockabilly hit a famouser, and then he goes to the top rope, but it's met by Flash. Then Billy hits him with a DDT off the rope, and then he starts like showboating and doing like the honky tonk man dance. Just like, what the fuck am I watching right now? Billy Gunn acting as honky tonk man might be the worst thing on television.
Oh, that was awful. Absolutely, God
and
damn,
this was
awful.
A quick, terrible match, and then at the end of it, the only thing redeeming quality was Honky Tonk got on the apron for some reason, and then Billy kind of gets Irish whipped into Honky, so he hits him, and then Flash kind of rolls him up for the victory. I'm just like, okay, where are we going with this?
I don't know.
And again, another match where Rockabilly loses, but then the guy that beats him just gets distracted and gets hit over the head with a guitar again. So Honky Tonk comes in and hits Flash Funk over the head with a guitar. So these guys aren't winning any matches, but they're ending the show or ending their segment with them hitting them over the head with a guitar. But it's just like, they're not making Rockabilly credible at all. If they really wanted to make him and Honky Tonk look like a credible manager wrestler duo, like, he loses every match. I guess you don't even want to talk about this anymore.
Yeah, it was pretty awful. I hate the whole fucking thing.
I just wish Honky would have picked somebody else to be his greatest of all time, because Rockabilly's just not working for me, man. I can't get into it at all. I can't take it credibly. It's bad.
Yep. No, I'm with you. It sucks. The whole I don't understand why they felt they needed to force this on Billy Gunn and do this. It just doesn't make any sense.
No. So we'll move on to the Bret Hart backstage. He's there. He's in a wheelchair, and he's being escorted by security. And they come out to the ring, and he said, again with this stuff, he says, "You're all just a lousy, rotten pack of lousy, stinking hyenas."
Stinking hyenas.
But he added lousy, rotten pack this time. So
yeah, it's because he's talking about the crowd. Saying, you guys are a pack of dirty hyenas, because hyenas don't just work alone. They work in a pack.
Yeah, he's giving us a hyenas lesson over here. Then he goes, "America wrestling fans are a disgrace around the world. I'm a hero, and I told you the truth. That creep Stone Cold tried to rip off my leg and end my career. I didn't deserve that. American fans are bloodthirsty because you're a sick society." Now you
he's
know
right on about that, but
now you know how the world feels about the USA. I thought it was.
I loved that. That was dude, that dig was awesome.
I did like, besides the hyena part, I thought Brett did cut a pretty good promo. This was probably his best promo that I've seen so far.
I would totally agree, and I loved when he said that, because it's so true. How many times do Americans and sit there and fucking, we're the best country in the whole world, hurdy. Like, when other countries don't sit there and go, yeah, we're the best country in the world. No, we're the best country. Like, dude, we don't feel the need to. But fucking America's got this fucking ego trip. They
gotta gloat.
That was
America.
great. Yeah, that was great.
But Bret Hart
Loved
being the great Canadian, I thought he had some pretty good lines in that promo. I got to give him
No, he
credit
definitely
on that.
did. Definitely did.
I just love the American fans are bloodthirsty because they're a sick society. They want to see blood and gore.
Right
and
on.
So that was the end of that promo by Bret Hart, which was actually really good. And then we get an update on one of the Godwins suffered a broken neck at some live event against the Legion of Doom.
Superstars. No, it was on Superstars.
Oh, whatever it was. Anyways, I didn't really care. But what?
Yeah.
But again, they gave us an update on where the Godwins, aka the Hillbilly Jim love children, have been. But so yeah, the Godwins are going to be out of action for a while as Legion of Doom broke their frickin' neck. Unless he wrestles with a broken frickin' neck. I don't know if he's Kurt Angle, but so yeah, they're going to be out for a while. So speaking of Legion of Doom, they come out. They face this team. You know who one of these guys are. I have no idea who Doug Furness and Phil Dafone is, or who I don't even know.
No, Phil LaFons.
Phil LaFon, whatever the hell is. I didn't even write his name down right. That's why I didn't care.
Doug Furness is actually a pretty big deal in Knoxville, Tennessee. He was a really big football player and shit out in Knoxville, and worked for Jim Cornette and Smoky Mountain Wrestling for a little bit. Was actually a really big wrestler in Japan. He was pretty big in Japan. Bodybuilder type guy. I know about him, and I knew he was in the WWE for a little while. But yeah, this was not very good. Match was okay. I will give them that. But the whole their whole little thing before the match, and well, every time the Road Warriors are out, it's like a home game. Yeah, okay. I guess. That's kind of stupid.
I didn't understand their promo. I don't know.
No, match was good though. I actually enjoyed the hell out of the match.
I can't say I agree with you on that one, but again, I kind of skipped through like half of this match. One thing I did take from this match is Animal doing like a bunch of drop kicks. Like for somebody that's as big as him to do like pretty good drop kicks like that, I found that pretty impressive.
Animal's doing a great drop kick when they did that double clothesline type thing. That was awesome.
The double clothesline in the corner, and it leads to a clothesline off the middle rope for a win for the Legion of Doom. And afterwards, these two goons get back on the mic and they go rematch and rematch soon, and just talk about the home crowd advantage again, or hometown advantage for.
Yeah, they basically just reiterated what they said and then asked for a rematch. It was like, oh my god, that was awful too.
So those guys want a rematch against Legion of Doom. So good luck to them. And we had something that I really enjoyed. Probably one of my favorite parts of the whole episode was we had Ahmed Johnson backstage, kind of like a promo vignette thing, and he just kind of starts like going off. He says like, "You want a gang fight? You got it. I'll get crazy. I got 3 guys trying to kill me. I'm a gang member, baby. Remember that." He just going off.
That was the best fucking Ahmed Johnson promo I've ever seen. I love it when guys are like, "I got 3 people trying to kill me," or anytime somebody's like, "I got somebody trying to kill me," like it makes me feel like it's some real shit. Like when you talk about somebody's trying to kill me, dude, like this, I got 3 motherfuckers trying to kick my ass.
I thought it was a great Ahmed Johnson promo. Again, for sure, something I wasn't expecting that from him. I didn't think that he had that in him. But the Nation of Domination is bringing out the worst in Ahmed Johnson, it seems, right now. He's getting really fired up. He attacked Rikishi last week, and this week, obviously, having that just reckless promo. So I really enjoyed that. We had Owen Hart versus Rocky Maivia for the Intercontinental Championship, so this was actually really interesting. Owen attacked Rocky like right at the start of the match. Obviously, the Bret Hart and British Bulldog are on the ramp again. I guess this is like Bret Hart's new home, is just sitting on this ramp. Yeah. In this wheelchair.
The Bulldog sitting there looking like a fucking idiot.
I don't know. Yeah, he looks like he's constipated.
Let's go, Owen. Let's go.
Like, why didn't you just go down to the ring? Like,
yeah, he just looks so damn stupid up there.
If anything, I would have liked Bret Hart to be at ringside and like kind of like trying to direct traffic while in a wheelchair. I would have found that funny. Some spots I took from this match were...
I'm dedicating this match to my brother.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, Owen Hart.
Yeah,
before the match. I'm dedicating this match. Anything that gets dedicated or prayed is about Bret Hart. Just the way it goes.
He is God, I guess, to Canadians.
Oh, yeah. Like, oh, not to me, but yes, to most Canadians he is. Owen Hart did a drop kick off the top rope for a near fall. He then did like a leg break bind, and like he continued to manipulate the left leg of Rocky throughout the whole match. Rocky countered with a small package for a near fall, and he also countered into a DDT for a near fall. So Rocky, it's not like it's a complete squash match. Rocky's, getting some offense in here. Then Owen did like this huge spin kick. Like, holy shit, where the fuck did that come from? Like, it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere, but it was fucking, it was unexpected. It was sweet.
Yeah, and he tries to go to the top rope, met by Rocky, who then suplexes him off the top rope. Only gets a near fall on Owen. And then Owen uses like this weird pinning combination and gets the roll-up victory to become the new IC champion.
Yeah, I thought the match was really good, and I thought the finish was good, and the whole... Owen is so good at those pins, man. Like, he can just wiggle his way and create his body in just such weird fucking directions and spaces. It's crazy.
So then he goes up to the ramp. He's like, "I did it for you, Brett. This is for you." Gives him the belt. They've literally got like every championship except for the WWF belt.
For the WWE title.
They got the tag belts.
Except for the main
they got the European belt. They just won the IC belt, and they got the Slammies. They're like all sitting on Brett's lap in this wheelchair.
Yeah.
And then they do like this like stupid like victory lap with Brett in the wheelchair.
You want a victory lap, Brett? You want a victory lap?
But what did you think of that? The way that ended, like the way the match ended with the roll up.
No, I said it was really good. I really enjoyed the end of the match. I enjoyed the whole match, and the end of it was really good. And like I said, the whole pinning combination he does was sweet. I thought it was interesting that they took a belt off somebody though on a Raw, but different times.
And then the part that you even told me before I even got to this part, but I finally got to it, and it shows Stone Cold backstage riding a wheelchair. God,
yeah. They're cutting to commercial, and he just fucking rolls through the fucking hallway in a wheelchair holding the axe handle. I'm fucking dying when I see that shit. I'm dying. Like, what the fuck?
Like, was that supposed to lure Bret Hart in, the fact that he was in a wheelchair too? Like, I don't understand what the whole point was.
And then he comes out afterward. Well, they come back from commercial. He comes out and he's like, "Who wants to see a wheelchair match?" And I'm like, "Oh my god!"
He's just trying anything at this point to try to get Bret Hart.
He wants to beat the fight. The promo was great. He's like, I promise you, I will sit in this chair the whole match. Actually, I can't promise you because I'm a lying SOB. And I'd get the heck up out of this chair and stuff a butthole through you and walk it dry.
Awesome. Comes through the crowd with the wheelchair and everything.
Yeah, I love that too. He didn't even when I saw him coming through the crowd, I'm like, why the fuck did he just wheel down the ramp? And then he's just doing it to just do it, just doing it to do it. He just throws the wheelchair out of the floor. And I was like, this is awesome.
Like some like random ladies like she's like waving at the crowd, and like Austin just like, kind of like throws the wheelchair, like just get the fuck out of my way. But yeah, he just carries the wheelchair out, and he's still got the axe handle too. Don't forget about that. He's got his favorite weapon of the night. He goes, "You're looking at the next WWF champion. That's the bottom line. It will be the coldest day in hell." So he's in two feuds at one time, but it's actually working. Like, he's having this feud with the Hart Foundation, and then he's also got this match with Taker coming up. But like, he's making it work. You can sure
tell who the top guy in the company is. If you had never watched a damn episode of wrestling in your life and you picked up the show, you would know who the top guy is. That's for sure.
So then he leaves Bret Hart interrupts again. It says Stone Cold will be going in an ambulance. And Stone Cold says, "The only one going in the ambulance is you," and leaves the ring to go like chase after him again. And that ended that segment. We had a backstage thing with Ken Shamrock. I kind of skipped over that promo. It was kind of just like hyping him up for his match against Vader and just kind of making Ken Shamrock look like a badass, like legit fighter. I kind of skipped over that. I don't know if you had anything to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't anything in it that was interesting.
Okay. Then we move on to Jesse James, who has now been demoted to jobbing, it seems like, because he's got your boy. It's time. It's time. It's Vader.
Vader.
Time. Vader comes out. Badass. The one thing I did take from this was JR in commentary was just like, he was pissed at Vader.
He was in a mood.
He was like...
He was in a fucking mood.
He embarrassed his family, the WWF, and can't embarrass himself. He's the stupidest man in Kuwait for about 2 weeks.
Yeah, JR was cutting some fucking hard shit on him.
Yeah, because then after Vader hit the quick Vader bomb for the win on Jesse James, this match lasted like a minute.
Yeah.
So Jesse James and Rockabilly had, these nice long matches, and Jesse just goes and gets squashed in a minute by Vader. So that's how they feel about him. JR comes in the ring and interviews Vader and asks if he's going to have any remorse for what he's done. Like, basically just, like, really poking at Vader. I'm like, damn, Vader's about to, like, whoop JR's ass. Like, if he doesn't shut up.
You want me to finish what I started in Kuwait on you there, big boy?
Yeah.
Oklahoma, you a tough guy now?
Yeah, and he goes, I apologize for nothing. I apologize to no one.
I apologize to no one.
I didn't come here to be insulted by you or anybody. And yeah, he needs to finish what he started in Kuwait. And he kind of, like, chases, or kind of, like, pushes JR back to the corner. And then Shamrock comes out for the save.
I'll tell you what, that was cool too. I did like it. The whole Shamrock coming out and everything. I'll tell you what too. I don't know if you've noticed it. In this, since I've been watching these, what is it, 8 to 10 episodes we've seen so far. Yeah. Good Jesus, how many times do these guys in this time sit there and point out that Vince is basically the owner of the company without saying he's the owner of the company?
Yeah, I don't know if they were instructed not to say anything.
I don't know if they are, or if it's like the guys that were unhappy just do it to piss Vince off, because Vader was like, I'm not gonna listen to you, I'm not gonna listen to these fans, I'm not gonna listen to him over there.
They always point at him.
Vince. Yeah, like they all do that, and I'm like, okay, either people that are pissed are fucking telling Vince, like, look, man, I'm gonna fucking throw your ass under the bus here. You ain't no damn announcer, or what? I don't know.
I did find that odd too.
Weird.
Yeah, about how what's Vince's role in this whole thing.
Yeah.
Shamrock gets on the mic and says it's not going to be Vader time. It's going to be hard time.
Hard time. Took that from one of the greatest of all time.
Who?
Are you kidding me?
Yep.
You don't... Hard times?
Nope.
Dusty fucking Rhodes?
No, it doesn't ring a bell to me.
You fucking moron.
I only know of Cody Rhodes in All Elite Wrestling.
Shut
I don't know
up.
about Dusty Rhodes.
All right, Kyle.
Anyways, we got Goldust backstage, like, putting on his paint. Marlena says, like, I'm coming down to the ring with you, and he says, no, you're not allowed at ringside tonight. This is not a place for you tonight. So that leads into the Goldust and Triple H match. China coming out.
You mean the Goldust and China match?
Yeah, basically. With Triple H's, I got to get Triple H's music to play it whenever we talk about Triple H segment.
No.
It was a quick attack by Goldust to start, and then Triple H does his like vintage high knee spot to stop Goldust's momentum, and then it was just a quick match because China ends up beating up on Goldust behind the referee. Marlena comes down to the ring. Like, what the fuck is she gonna do to China? Like, realistically, you're telling me Terry Reynolds is gonna put up a fight against China? Come on. But anyway, she's out there, and then she gets like this, I don't know where she got it from, but she gets some powder and kind of throws it in China's face, so she's blinded, and because Goldust was standing there when she had thrown the powder, and then she grabs Triple H thinking it's Goldust, like chokes him in the air, like grabbing him up. Yeah. And Triple H gets counted out. He gets counted out.
I know. How do they continue to make China look better than Hunter?
I mean, it wasn't hard because they made Hunter's character look like a bitch at this point.
Damn.
But yeah, so she like lifted Triple H up by his neck, and at the same time he gets disqualified. Well, he gets counted out. So double whammy for Triple H. He gets choked up by his own girlfriend, and gets counted out in this match. And Goldust and Marlena just kind of leave. So obviously we haven't seen the end of this feud yet, but I really hope this doesn't lead to like a China and Marlena match, because God, that would be like the most non-believable match I'd ever seen, because Terry Reynolds is good for nothing besides prancing around the ring like half naked, but that's a story for another day. So that was the way that match ended. So I guess this Goldust and Hunter Hearst Helmsley thing is not over. We'll see if China's not blinded next week by her powder.
I'm sure she'll be fine.
Poor China and King on commentary. Oh, look at the Amazoness China. Like, he, like, loves China. But, she'd probably whoop his ass too, Jerry, so don't get too excited there, buddy. Then we had the Undertaker, Undertaker promo on the Titantron. It was the one who covets the blame is the one who gets burnt, in reference to Paul Bearer.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously he lit Paul Bearer's face on fire with the actions he did last night. And obviously Mankind with the, oh, Paulie, Uncle Paulie. So we haven't seen anything.
Uncle Paul.
We haven't seen anything from Paul Bearer lately. I think King at one point was like, "Oh, send your well wishes for Paul Bearer to me, and I'll take it to him. I'll over there in Memphis." And then that leads to the main event of British Bulldog versus Undertaker. So I'll let you talk about this match for a bit. From what you saw, because obviously you said that it cut out for you near the end.
Yeah,
of
my
it.
shit started cutting out towards the end. I don't know what was going on with my internet or something, but yeah, I tried to watch it. It just didn't work. But yeah, I got to about halfway through the match. The match up to that point was okay. I just, again, again, Bulldog gets into the ring and
Dedicates
dedicate this match to the person who introduced me to my lovely wife, my brother-in-law, my inspiration, Bret Hart. Again, funny. Other than that, nothing that to me seemed to because you won't tell me what happened at the end, so I don't really know. Up to that point, it was pretty lame, but
yeah, the match itself really was not that good. I don't know where it even came from. Like, where the hell did Bulldog versus Undertaker come from?
I don't understand the last 2 weeks, Taker's wrestling people, he has no point in wrestling.
Yeah, it really made no sense. But, what did I write down here? Go, because, like, do you remember where you were when it ended?
No.
No? Okay, well, I'll just go over my notes then, and you can just give your input. Owen, he comes down to the ring to, like, chop block Taker, and so it just ended the match, because obviously he got disqualified.
Right.
And so they just start attacking him like a pack of dogs, and Stone Cold comes through the crowd and starts attacking them all, and then they retreat into the crowd. Like, Undertaker's attacking them too, so like they just kind of retreat again, the pack of dogs, until other people show up, and then they just leave.
Yeah.
And they're like worse than the Nation. I don't know who's bigger bitches, the Hart Foundation or the Nation of Domination.
Probably calling people a pack of hyenas while they're fucking being a pack of goddamn hyenas.
I think that was probably the point when he's being a hypocrite. I think that was kind of the point of
I'm
it.
sure. I think it is.
I think the Nation's worse because they have like 6 or 7 guys that can't even take on one person.
Hell, 6 or 7, they have like 15. Just random dudes. And like,
who are these guys?
Ties. Don't make any sense either. That's for another segment. Time.
They were not even on the show this week.
Yeah, I know. Thank God.
Anyways, and then Austin just gets back in the ring and he grabs the WWF title and like starts like celebrating with it. He starts just like, what is going on here? Starts like he just starts celebrating with the belt, and I'm just like, what the fuck is? He's just grabbing the belt. So I don't know. So they end up having a stare down with the two of them, and then like out of nowhere, Stone Cold just kind of hits him with the stunner, and he starts showboating with the belt again, and then Taker kind of like rises up, and he hits a chokeslam on Austin. Now the funny part about this was that like Stone Cold just kind of like rolled out of the ring and then just like put all of his attention to Bret Hart. Like he just completely like fuck that, I'm not dealing with you anymore, Taker. So he just runs up to the ramp, and Bret Hart's still sitting there in his same spot with the fucking wheelchair, and he's defenseless obviously. And then he grabs the wheelchair, throws it. I'm like, he's finally gonna get a hold of Bret Hart. And out of nowhere, Jim the Anvil Neidhart comes out of nowhere and just starts attacking Austin from behind. I'm just like, where did he come from? So, rest in peace, Jim the Anvil Neidhart recently passed away, but he makes his comeback.
They got the whole Hart Foundation.
They got the entire thing back together. So then Bret like kind of rises up and hits Stone Cold over the back with the crutch, and he just like falls off the stage. So he's like laying motionless like underneath the stage, and he gets like taken out by medical personnel. So it was like about 2-minute spot of just Stone Cold just laying there like out cold, have to take in this crutch spot, and then Brett and Anvil like leave all happy and this and that. So the entire Hart Foundation is back together, and the show ends with this backstage and Brian Pillman just like evilly smiling.
Nice. Nice.
He's just laughing with this evil smile on his face. So I don't know if he knew like Jim the Anvil Neidhart was going to come out or what, but if that was his plan the whole time. But so that's how we end the show, with Brian Pillman's psycho smiling face to end the show. So that was really, really interesting, and I'm really looking forward to where they're going with this, because obviously now that they've got the entire foundation back together, it'll be something.
It's gonna be cool.
And Brian Pillman's involvement in this too is just...
Yeah, it's gonna be freaking... I love Pillman, so I'm excited to see his involvement and everything.
Now, quick question: was this before he did that whole gun thing with Stone Cold, or was this after?
This was after.
Okay, so he had already tried to kill Stone Cold with a gun.
That's why the whole Stone... That's why he came out and attacked Stone Cold.
Okay, how long was he out for before this?
Good question. I don't know.
Oh. I don't know any of the backstory here, so I don't know how long he was out for. But so the surprise return by Brian Pillman, and then Jim the Anvil Neidhart. So it looks like the Hart Foundation's getting a lot of backup to take on Stone Cold, who has his match with Undertaker still for the WWF title. So got multiple things going on at once here. So it's Austin's just a psychopath.
You know what? This could be... I'm trying to remember if the Pillman situation was before or after.
Well, we'll update them next week because the show's going kind of long. So
I can't remember.
We'll wrap it up. We'll figure that out next week. That'll be our homework for next week.
Okay.
So again, next week we will be reviewing. Ty, do you have the episode? The episodes lined up?
No, nope.
God damn it. Okay.
That's your job.
All right. Well, I know the vintage match of the week is Chris Colt versus Steve Party from 1982.
Yep.
And you will
Here,
link
I can look
me
up
to that.
look up what's the next things real quick. The next dates.
Shout out to old co-host Brian is in the chat. Hello B Team. Happy Valentine's Day.
B Team my ass. Fucking. Maybe when he was on here.
Yeah, with his Russo comments.
Never.
But, anyways, so I'll just tweet out the episodes.
Yeah, because this thing's taking too long to load.
No worries. I'll tweet out the episodes with the link to the Ty's match of the week for next week.
Yes, sir.
So, with that being said, I thought the second episode was a lot better than the first episode.
Oh yeah, me too.
And again, the way that the show ended, I'm really looking forward to watching next week's episodes, and on the network for me this time, not on some shitty stream. So I'm looking forward to that too. So, with that being said, that's going to wrap it up for episode 4 of the Lowdown Show Retro, right here on the No Holds Barred Network, your source for all WWE, NXT, UK, and all Elite Wrestling coverage. You can listen to us live every Thursday night, right here on Spreaker Radio, or you can download the free app on all Apple and Android devices. And we're also available to listen to on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, SoundCloud, and now Spotify. So for all network updates, please go follow us at NHB Network on Twitter. As well, you can go follow the show itself at The Lowdown Retro. And all the links will be in the description below on the YouTube version of the podcast. And lastly, you can follow myself at Cappy Collects and my co-host at TylerJones_22. And until next time, I'm your favorite host as always, Mr. Corporate himself, Corporate Cappy. And I'm always joined here by my co-host, my Valentine's Day partner here, the natural born heel, Tyler Jones.
Bah humbug.
And we're always here reminding you, keep it on the lowdown.
You're looking at the real deal now. Gonna kick your sorry ass out on the street. Is that what you got? Music when you on the street. We're back to back and your ass is dead meat. Victory sweet. Bring it on. Here's your receipt. Bring it on. What you gonna do about it? Bring it on. Is that what you got? Bring it on. So what you gonna do about it? Bring it on. Gonna kick your sorry ass, but what you gonna do?